Hello people of the verse, welcome to the channel, it's the Eradicator, and in this video we'll talk about squadrons in actually Star Citizen. That's right, it is possible to play as a squadron in Star Citizen, and this is a kind of experience that I wanted to share with you guys on the channel. I was able to do that with my buddies here on stream earlier today on Twitch. By the way, if you're not following on Twitch yet, the link is in the description down below. I try to stream at least once a week, hopefully more if I have enough time. And so here we go, we're going to see how it works, if it works, and what we can do when we are playing as a squadron like this. But before that, of course, I want to talk about this month's exceptional giveaway, as I'm giving away a Retaliator Bomber with lifetime insurance. All you have to do to get a chance of winning is to subscribe to the channel and answer to the giveaway related question that I am asking every video. So be on the lookout for that question. Here we go, let's get started. Let's talk about squadrons now in Star Citizen, shall we? So there's no really definition about what a squadron is in Star Citizen. Obviously, it is all up to your creativity and imagination, but traditionally, I would say them come from the old, Star Wars days, right? Traditionally, a squadron is usually 12 ships of the same kind. Now, it's really difficult to get 12 people at the same time with 12 of the same ships here, so we'll just be playing with 3 hours here and having a fun here with some group play with 3 hours, doing the same missions. We are in the party, sharing those missions, and see if we can come up with strategies, or at least with some kind of flying formations that are going to fly us to fly more effectively and destroy those enemies more effectively. Not just one enemy, but you are going to see that there are going to be multiple enemies. We are going to be outnumbered and outgunned, and is being a squadron going to allow us to get rid of those predicaments and to prevail? Well, we'll be seeing about that. Now, one of the main advantages of flying in a squadron, as you are seeing here, is that it really divides the different amount of targets that the NPCs are going to focus on. If you are playing with one big multi-crew ship, say for example a Constellation or maybe a Mercury Star, there you're the only enemy that the NPCs are going to focus on, and so if there are multiple enemies at the same time, they are going to draw their fire all on you, and as a result, this is a situation that gets a little bit riskier. Now here, when we have 3 different ships, the NPCs have to split their attention on 3 different ships at the same time. Usually they tend to focus on one of them, and then the other 2 ships are going to be able to destroy that particular bounty. That's what you are seeing on the footage. Now, of course, as there are going to be more ships that will be entering the fray, then that's when the NPCs are going to split their attention on. Some NPCs will be focusing on myself, and some NPCs will be focusing on my wingman as well. But that's okay, because usually some players are usually better than NPCs, so that's not really an issue, as long as we don't get over the ratio of 1 human player for 3 NPCs. But as soon as we get to that particular critical ratio, which is what is going to happen later, then things get a little bit more complicated, of course. Now, what I really like about flying as a squadron is that now there's this feature that seems to be working a little bit better. It was broken in previous patches, it works a little bit better, and you have group control travel. Now, this is extremely important, because if you have group control travel, then you get to fly to your destination where you have your mission all at the same time. It's very important that, of course, you are not really scattered around an area. When you engage content travel, you have to be all at the same location at the same time, and then all the 3 ships here, this is what happened to us, all the 3 ships get to jump to our destination at the same time, which is ideal if we want to be taking down some enemies that might be eventually stronger than us. In this case, we are doing very high bounty hunting targets, very high risk bounty hunting targets, sorry. So that involves ships like Vanguard and especially Valkyries. Taking down a Valkyrie one-on-one when you are in an arrow is not an impossible task, but it definitely is quite complicated. If you are doing that 1-on-3, it becomes much easier, of course. The next thing that is also very useful when you are flying in the group is that you can actually, in case you didn't know, you can actually use the star map to click on your teammates and quantum travel directly to them. If, for example, for some reason you had some technical problem, or even if you die, you had to respawn, right? You can get to your teammate as quickly as possible without having to go to some kind of OM or straight to or through multiple waypoints. You can go straight to where the action is, and that spares also a lot of time. Now, before we move on to the major technical issue regarding playing as a squadron in Star Citizen, I would like to know, have you ever played as a squadron member inside a squadron in Star Citizen? Have you played with other people, having all the same ship, doing the same missions, and how fun was it? Please share your experience down there in the comment section down below. This is really something that I'd like to know. Is this something that not a lot of people get to do, or is it actually something quite common, or something that maybe a lot of people want to do but haven't had the chance to? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the main issue that I want to point out here, and probably I'll be making a dedicated video further down this week, is desync. I've talked about desync before. I'm going to talk about desync again. Desync sometimes does not really seem to be affecting our experience so much, and the game is running smoothly. However, sometimes it can ruin the experience, and this is what happened to one of the team members here, Admiral Gruffus, who at some point unfortunately died. He was shot down by one of the many NPCs that were in this particular area. It is true that we were particularly outgunned here. We managed to survive and kill everybody, but at the cost of the life of Admiral Gruffus, unfortunately. But he tried to come back as he respawned, but when he came back to our particular area here where we were fighting, he could not see anything. The entire area was empty, and worst, some of the debris actually were not visible, and he could crash on some of the debris at any time. The problem is that we were seeing him. We were seeing that he was here. The NPCs were seeing him and were shooting him at the same time, but he could not see anything. He could see that he was being shot, but he had no idea where this was coming from. And this is where desync here really is a problem, because it ruins the gameplay experience of the people who are experiencing it. It ruins the gameplay experience of the other people who are playing with the people who are experiencing desync. It is just not normal that at this stage of the game we're still experiencing those issues where players are minutes away from the actual action. It took Gruffus here about 3 minutes until finally he was able to see what was around him, the NPCs, the action, and the fights, and in the meantime he was in constant danger, and we always had to make sure that the NPCs who were targeting him eventually ended up targeting us and leaving him alone until eventually finally he would be able to help us destroy them. But it really took a long amount of time. It was extremely stressful, and we just didn't know when everything would be back to normal for him. Now, overall, I would say that getting to play as a squadron today in Star Citizen was extremely satisfying. Just the mere fact of playing with other people, having each other's back, each in our own dedicated starfighter. Sometimes we get in trouble, we get targeted, we get to eventually get to kill the starfighter that is targeting our friend, or at the same time it can be maybe ourselves who are being targeted, and our friends come here to save us. It is just absolutely epic, and I'm really glad to be able to experience such moments with some of my friends here in Star Citizen. This is really fulfilling my sci-fi hotshot fantasy, my Luke Skywalker moment. I would say a Wedge Antilles moment is happening really in Star Citizen when I'm experiencing those moments. I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to tell you guys that it is possible. The game is able to offer you those kind of thrills. You just need to have the right people to play with you and the right ships at the same time, and hopefully also a little bit of luck with the servers or the game itself allowing you to do so. And that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you also enjoyed this gameplay video. Maybe it is going to inspire you to play with your friends, or who knows, maybe you can join me in the game as well. I'm always happy to play with you guys, if of course it is possible. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the verse as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the roadmap, of course. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.